What's up everybody, it's here Yohnson, and today I'm here to show you guys some really quick moves. So, if you guys see my training video, you guys see me punching a bag, just throwing punches and stuff like that. Now I'm going to tell you what it is I'm practicing. So, the very first technique is the jab. The jab can be a simple standing jab, where you just most people don't see the effectiveness of a jab. A jab, what it does is it interrupts people. So let's say someone's, they're charging up, they're going to throw a heavy punch to you. You jab them, and it cuts the power of their punching. Sometimes it will even stop them from punching you. I've jabbed somebody about 8 times within like 2 seconds. All I did was like block him once, and hit him repeatedly in his face. And he was just moving his head back and bobbing back. Jabbing is important. So having a very quick jab. A jab, you don't want to be tight when you throw a jab. You want to have your hand slightly open, and you want to close it the minute it gets to their face. You want to have it like that, because if you have your hand tight, then you won't get much. Your hand won't have much speed, but if I keep my hand open, you can see how fast it goes. So that standing jab is what I'm doing right now, just standing. But a stepping jab is like, means I step forward, step forward, step forward. Jabs they disable the opponent. They disable them. So that's why you want to jab. You see someone charge up a big hit, you can jab them. And the best thing I can tell you guys is when you're punching, something that I don't do, that I will start to do now, is aim your punches. If you aim your punches, they will be much more effective. What I mean by that is you have an eye, you have a nose, you have a mouth, you have a chin, and a temple and stuff like that, but you probably don't want to go for temple. But when you hit someone in the nose really hard, their eyes begin to water. If you hit someone in the eye, their eye will swell, and they won't be able to see for quite a couple seconds. So, and if you hit them in the chin, it'll rock their brain and knock them off balance. So even the biggest person, if you hit them in the chin, they'll go down. Because it makes your brain rattle. Your brain starts to slam back and forth. Very effective. Then there's stuff like body blows. There's the solar plexus. I said this one's box. Solar plexus, which is pretend it's the middle of the chest. You hit them in the middle of the chest, they run out of breath. I've done it to someone before. It was I got in a fight with someone because, I'll just tell you a little story. This dude was cheating on his girlfriend, so I told her that, hey, so-and-so is cheating on you, and yeah. So what she did was, she told him, and he came at me angry. So he's walking down the street, he's like this. This is how he's walking. He's walking down the street, and he's like one of those people that gangbang, and they want to be really hard, so they yell out what gang they're from and stuff. So he did that, and because first of all, he's walking, and I call it strafing. He's grabbing his crotch, and he's going to the side. And this is like I first started learning martial arts from my book. This man does the easiest punch to counter. The easiest punch. He goes, I'm not even going to bother to say what he said, but I'll just say, "What's up, dog?" And he swings his hand like this. If you swing these punches, for one, they're wild punches. They're easy to dodge. You can easily just move out of the way from hooks or wild punches, because they're wild punches. When people don't throw, if they're not trained, they won't throw an actual hook, but they're throwing wild punches. He threw a wild punch. I put my hand up. So he threw a right, I put up my left hand and I blocked him, and I said, "Whew," and I hit him in his chest, right in his solar plexus. And he get, oh. And then from there on, I'm watching his reaction, because sometimes I freeze up in fights because I'm watching them. Like I'm watching him so much, it's like a little movie, and I pay attention to all the facial expression. His face is like, and he ends up like, trying to like wrestle me after. People tend to wrestle a lot. And the things you want to be careful about wrestling is it makes you really tired. If you don't have proper stamina when you're wrestling someone, you will be out of breath in seconds. All it takes is one person to take you down when you're exhaling or something, or inhaling, and then you're out of breath. You get the air and the wind knocked out. So be careful with wrestling. One of the people that texted in my training video, he said he's like a good wrestler and stuff like that. He thinks that just him knowing wrestling is good enough. I'll tell you guys this right now, as a martial artist, if you know one martial arts, then you're bound to lose. Because there's going to be someone else that knows something that you don't. I mean, this will always happen. But if you are strictly, strictly Tai Chi or strictly boxing, if you're strictly boxing and then you fight someone who's a kickboxer, you're going to get kicked in your head. You're going to get your leg all messed up. Or, like I said, boxing and a wrestler. A boxer, you may not be able to like grab him, but let's say you do grab him. You grab him, then you put him in a chokehold, you put him to sleep. But at the same time, if the boxer knew wrestling, he'd be able to properly defend yourself. If you wanted to defend yourself properly, learn different martial arts. Don't just learn karate and think, I can beat up everybody in the world. I know karate. And then you basically think you can beat everyone up. No. This isn't a Kung Fu movie. You won't just learn one martial arts and beat everybody up. I mean, you can be really good at the martial arts you learn, but again, you need to learn different martial arts, because if someone takes you down, like let's say someone knows Krav Maga, and then they grab you and slide in and grab your leg and arm bar you ain't gonna know what to do. First thing you're gonna do is like try to force your arm out of an arm bar, and then you're gonna get your arm either broken or you're gonna tap out. I know different martial arts. I haven't been practicing them. It's been like a good couple of years, but a lot of the martial arts I do know are muscle memory, and my muscle memory is mostly Kung Fu. Wrestling was, I didn't take wrestling classes, but I had done a lot of wrestling with my friends and stuff like that, because man, as a kid, everybody loved wrestling, especially SmackDown, stuff like that. And then I've watched a ton of different YouTube videos, and some people go, oh, you watch YouTube and learn those moves off YouTube. Well, John Jones, which is he a champion right now? But you guys know who John Jones is. He's a UFC fighter. I think he's a heavyweight champion, light heavyweight champion or something. But he said I watch videos off of YouTube and I'm able to copy them. Same thing, but I learned my main Kung Fu from a book. That book I read, it taught me so much of how to react, how to keep yourself calm and stuff, and not to be like, someone bigger than you, not to be like, oh, I'm gonna get beaten up, he's gonna beat me up, he's so much bigger than me. No, you train, you learn moves, you build yourself a fighting spirit so you're not beaten. When you get in a fight, the very first thing in a fight, it's a mental game. If the other person scares you, or if you're scared of the other person, then your hits aren't going to have as much damage. It's pretty much like Pokemon. It's like someone uses Howl on you, and then your attack goes halfway. Your attack has downgraded, whatever. So don't be intimidated. That's the first thing. If you're intimidated in a fight, then you're more likely to lose. And don't think that his hit is going to knock me out. If you're fighting for your life, or you're fighting for your family, or you're fighting for your friend, you won't let that hit knock you out. I mean, some things you can't control, but you won't just go down